What's the matter, son?
Just got some things going on.
Woman trouble.
Well, yeah. I kind of missed my chance with a girl I like.
Got beat to the punch, huh?
By the captain of the basketball team.
Thing is, Pete, if you want to get noticed by girls, you got to give them something to notice.
Like being a chicken.
Like your butt. Chicken butt. Hey, Val.
Hey, Al.
Welcome to D Commentaries.
Thank you. Welcome to you and welcome to our listeners. Today, we're talking about Hatching Pete.
Uh-huh.
Friends, I literally just said before we started, I wonder what Al thinks of this movie. I can't wait to find out. And that told me everything I need to know.
You can tell what I think about this movie from how I respond to Val saying the title. If you haven't picked up on that after 70 episodes, Val, where are we?
We're almost at 75.
75 episodes? Okay, you're all obsessed with us. I mean, hello. You're not picking up on the social cues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we did watch Hatching Pete with my past crush. Well, maybe if I met him today, Val, I'd still have a crush on him. Jason Dolley.
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like now, but sure.
I'm sure he looks the same, just older.
Yeah.
That's how life works, huh?
Val,
how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I am buying a house tomorrow. And
by the time this comes out, you'll have a house.
That's right. I'll have another house. I already own my condo, but
okay, brag.
I know. I will own multiple properties.
Wow, a monopoly. Valerie Monopoly Agnew. Okay.
Yeah, I drive around with a little shoe, you know.
You do wear a top hat when you drive.
That's right. I can only drive if I wear a top hat. It's like a thing.
That's why it was so weird for me to borrow your car on your wedding day.
Because you had to wear
You wouldn't let me wear the driving top hat.
There's like a hole cut in the ceiling of the car just to make sure that there's
Val, I have a request for whenever you and Michael renew your vows in like 20 years.
Sure.
You have to wear that top hat from Parent Trap in the wedding scene.
Okay. Will do.
All right, we're stalling. Let's get to the movie.
All right. Hatching Pete came out April 24th, 2009.
That was just a couple weeks ago, Val.
It was. I know. I thought about that too.
And some years, but just a couple weeks ago.
Hatching Pete was directed by Stu Gillard. Stu 2.
Oh, two stew.
Two stews, too Sturious. Stu directed Scream Team, Full Court Miracle, Going to the Mat, Twitches 2, as well as some episodes of Charmed and 90210.
Cool.
So
welcome back, Stu 2.
Yeah, I like almost all of those movies.
I think the only one that we really don't like is Scream Team.
That's right. Correct.
Yeah, bad movie.
His first and his last. Not
Scream Team?
His first and now his last are least
this
favorites.
Is his last.
Yeah. Decom.
Goodbye, Stu 2.
Goodbye, Stu 2. Okay, we were written by Paul W. Cooper.
Okay.
He did not do any other decoms. He was a television writer. He did, a couple episodes here, a couple episodes there. The most episodes he had were on Little House on the Prairie. He also did a couple episodes of Murder, She Wrote. And he wrote a number of after-school specials, which I thought was kind of interesting. And
cool.
Perhaps how he got hired for this job.
Nice.
Yeah. The cast is as follows. Jason Dolley played Pete, the chicken Ivy. The chicken is his middle name.
The chicken.
He was in Read It and Weep and Minutemen as far as decoms. He will be in Good Luck Charlie, which I believe is another decom. He was also in something called Complete Savages, and he was on Cory in the House.
Nice. Yes. The Good Luck Charlie is like a spin-off of a TV show. So I don't know if we'll end up watching that because we haven't been watching spin-off shows.
Got it. Well, maybe we'll do a special on that.
Spin-off special. Ooh, that's what we're calling it. This is for future Val when she's editing.
Keep it in mind. Okay, then we have Mitchell Musso as Cleatis Poole. What a friggin' name.
A choice.
A choice. Cleatis. Why? I don't know. Mitchell, you might recognize from Life is Rough. As far as DComs, he was also on Hannah Montana, and he does voice for Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm. Tiffany Thornton played Jamie Wynn. She was in something called Sunny with a Chance.
It's a TV show starring Demi Lovato.
Okay. She's a singer, so she had a bunch of music videos. She was on something called So Random,
which is also a TV show.
Okay. But she stopped acting in 2015.
Bye.
She and Mitchell sang the main song in this.
Yes. Another movie where it comes back again.
I know. They played it twice. It was very weird. Josie Loren played Angela Morrissey. She's cute.
Yeah, she was nice. I liked her.
Yeah. She was in 17 again. Make It or Break It, The Mentalist. But she also stopped acting in 2015.
Huh. What happened in 2015 besides me graduating college?
I have no idea, but you stopped a lot of people from acting.
It's really my fault.
It's totally your fault. They were like, oh, Al's coming. We should probably quit while we're ahead.
We need to quit while we're ahead because it's going to take her 13 years to get there and we need to get out now. I'm on 9, so I've got a couple left. So mark my words.
All right. Sean O'Brien played Leon Ivy, who's Pete's dad. He's a character actor, so he's been in a ton of stuff, but some things that he was in more than one of or notables. He was in Brothers Keeper, both Princess Diaries, Big Fat Liar, Raising Helen, and The Middle, the show.
In Princess Diaries, he's the teacher for anyone listening who knows Princess Diaries.
Yeah. Amy Farrington played Mom, Doris Ivy. She, as a character actor, she's been in one episode of everything. The only show that she's been on for an extended period of time is SWAT. And I actually did recognize her from that because I used to watch that as a background show, when I was doing stuff and didn't want to fully pay attention.
Yeah.
So good for her for getting some work more recently.
Nice. Love that.
Yeah. Aramis Knight played Wendell Pate. I have literally no idea who that is. I don't know if that's Dill or someone else.
Oh, maybe because it's Wendell.
Yeah, it could be. But he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he most recently was in the Miss Marvel, which was a Marvel TV show that I really enjoyed.
Cool.
Miss Marvel is a great Marvel television show that I think actually does in large part stand alone. So if you were interested in watching it, I think you could enjoy it regardless of your knowledge of the rest of the Marvel universe.
Thank you.
And it is a story about a young girl who is first generation American, and it's a lovely story.
Yeah, I think I've seen some ads for that, but
yeah, it's great. I love it. Okay. Edward Herman played Principal Fred Daly. We got Grandpa from Gilmore Girls.
Oh, no, I don't watch Gilmore Girls. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, he's a character actor. He's been in lots of stuff, but anyone who's watched Gilmore Girls would immediately be like, oh my God, it's the guy from Gilmore Girls.
It's Grandpa.
Yeah. Then we had Brian Stepanek, who played Coach Mackey. He has a very long resume. He's a pretty active character actor, voice actor, does all kinds of stuff. But you might recognize him from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He was on a show called Brian O'Brien, Kick Buttowski, Nikki, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn, Young Sheldon, and The Loud House, among other things.
Nice.
So yeah.
He's got really great physical comedy.
Oh yeah. He's built for comedy. His face is
he's
rubber,
very funny.
and he's just kind of a funny looking dude to begin with. And he uses it well.
I don't know his name in Sweet Life, but he's, I believe, the janitor.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. The synopsis is as follows. Pete is very inconspicuous at school, unlike his extrovert mate, Cleatis mate. written by a British
This
person.
is an Australian movie.
Cleatis, who's happy to don a chicken suit and be the school mascot. But unfortunately, Cleatis is allergic to the suit. When there's an uproar at the disappearance of the chicken, and Pete is forced into the limelight as the school's basketball reputation is at stake. That is not a full sentence. And it also gives away the entire movie.
Yeah. Huh.
I think they could have left it at the first sentence and maybe said something like, and Pete has to step in. Or something like that. So there's only one fun fact today, and it is that Josie Loren, who plays Angela, and Jason Dolley, who plays Pete, also played love interests in an episode of Cory in the House prior to this movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So they got some practice.
Nice.
On their chemistry.
Pretty cool.
And that is the business.
Thank you for doing your business.
It is always my pleasure doing my business. Al?
Yeah.
We kind of already know, but what were your first impressions of this flick?
Thanks, Val. I'm giving this flick a 4.
Okay, that's better than what I was expecting based on your reaction.
Thank you. I liked it better than last week's Dad Napped.
For sure.
But to me, it felt like, is this the middle school years they were talking about? Like, I don't know. It feels like they're trying too hard.
Yep.
It feels like, man, High School Musical was a hit. We have to make something that was just like it. And then it's like, no, you're doing too much. Mm-hmm. I also feel like this movie could have been like a short. It was a little too long to be a full movie that was enjoyable. That being said, had my past crush Jason Dolley in it, so I'm not mad. Yeah, I'm getting it a 4.
Fair.
Val, first impressions.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, kind of similarly, like I definitely like this better than last week's movie for sure. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't sitting there like basically yelling at the TV the entire time I was watching this movie.
Yeah.
The way that I was for that one. Yeah, I think that my issue with this one is it absolutely feels like they are trying too hard. Like I think that, again, the idea of a kid who doesn't get a lot of attention flourishing when he's sort of randomly put into this mascot outfit and he doesn't have anyone able to actually see him, like that's an interesting situation, right? And the like even the romantic part of it like makes sense and is kind of sweet and they have good chemistry. But then you've got like Mitchell Musso, who is at 150 always. Yeah. Just screaming into the camera basically in this entire movie. Like he's not literally screaming into the camera, but like metaphorically screaming into the camera. And it's like Jason Dolley and Mitchell Musso are in 2 different movies and they're playing best friends. Like they keep saying they are best friends constantly throughout this movie. They don't know each other very well. Absolutely no chemistry with each other as friends. Frankly, Mitchell Musso's character is mean as hell to Jason Dolley's character the entire movie. So that it's like hard to buy that. Yeah. There's also like this pre-thing where Jason Dolley's character has a crush on Mitchell Musso's sister, but then like forgets about that immediately. Like it's like, why did we even need this? Like, and the whole reason, like the fact that Mitchell's like allergic to the mask, like it's so stupid. Like just come up with a different reason. He doesn't want to do it, like whatever. Like there doesn't have to be this like silly sneezing BS that is going on in this movie. There's also like a random side plot at one point with like the sheriff trying to like arrest them. I mean, it's just like there's so much in this movie. It's kind of to your point, like where it was like could have been much shorter, like that was just sort of added in there seemingly for length. And it was unnecessary. Yeah. One thing that I thought about, I wrote at one point when I was watching this, is it kind of felt like some of our DCOM shows because it felt like something that someone was throwing together in the moment. And that's why it was paced kind of a little bit funny. And like there was like 4 endings. Like why didn't he just go to the game after the first time that they sort of assured him that no one was going to know? You know what I mean? Like he missed 2 games after that. And we'll talk more about that when we get to Spoiler City. But there was just like narrative things that didn't make any sense. And then of course there's like this big culminating moment that's really chaotic at the end, which felt very much like a live show as well. So I kept like thinking about that as I was watching this movie. There's also just like other efforts besides just Mitchell Busso's character to like just be too campy. Like it's unnecessary. Like the parents are really cliche, silly. Like the mom is like a caterer and a baker, and like she just always is wearing an apron and has flour on her face. And like the dad was like working on his car and he like wipes like 4 inches of oil across his forehead. Like, come on. Like we don't need that. Like, and I talked about this last week too. Like the old DCOMs treated us like we were adults. Like we didn't need to be spoken down to like find things interesting and funny. And now it just feels like everything is the lowest common denominator. Yeah. And, you know, coming from improv, where the first rule of improv is stop like trying to be funny and just be true, be honest, and it will be funny to the audience because they will connect with whatever it is that you're doing. Like that's why those original DCOMs work so well, and it's why I think these ones don't. Yeah, they fall short.
I have a feeling though that we'll hit a point where they start to feel like that again.
I agree.
I think we're just kind of stuck right now. And like, I think this is what we meant by like the middle school years.
100%. They're trying to be Nickelodeon. They're trying to be like silly and big and all of these things, but they don't get what Nickelodeon was. Yeah. You can't be Disney and Nickelodeon at the same time. You just can't. Anyway, that was my first impression and also multiple other impressions of this movie.
That's okay.
Al. Yeah. Did you have any favorite quotes or moments?
I did. I'll score 20 points for you today, sweet thing. A lot of like coach and basketball player stuff was the highlights for me here. Simple goal for tonight: work on scoring more than 7 points.
I wrote that one too.
Insane that they were as bad as I was in 5th grade basketball. This is like high school. Let's get out there and show them what roosters are made of. Feathers and a beak. Woo! 85% of long distance relationships are doomed to failure. Sounds high. I was triggered when improv was mentioned. They said the word improvised and I shuddered. And then my favorite moment in the movie is all the basketball players wearing peak 2009 basketball short length that go past, like, the knees, like mid-calf.
Yep.
Also, this parade, I feel like since we're in Hollywood, I don't know what else to call it. Like this is the community we chose to be in. We're very hyper aware of filming and edits and things like that. And so when they had the parade and they did the wide shot of the parade down the street, it literally just stopped.
I know.
Like you could just see that no one else was lined up past that. There was no other floats behind it. They were just like, we need this one float, then that's it. It was just really funny to me that they were like, we're just gonna fill what we need.
Yeah. I mean,
because other people don't pick up on that.
No.
Yeah. I also might mention this later in the synopsis, but I could not tell the difference between the sister and the girl who Mitchell Musso had a crush on.
I literally wrote the same thing.
Yeah. At first I was like, is his sister hitting on him? Like I was so confused. They cast 2 women who looked
identical,
so alike.
Identical.
And then she and as you just mentioned, she never comes back.
Yeah, the sister is like there kind of, but she like has like 2 lines.
I didn't know which one she was. I had no idea. Yeah. Super weird.
I wrote the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Val, favorite quotes or moments?
Thanks, Al. I'm your best friend. I pay attention to your neurotic ramblings. I feel like you've said that to me before.
Probably.
This one brought me back. I think he's stealing my mini cologne samples. We used to like go to the department store at the mall and they would hand out like little tiny test tubes of like perfume and cologne trying to get you to buy stuff. And of course, like we were kids, we would never buy anything, but we would get all these little, so you'd have like your, drawer in your dresser, like full of tiny little perfumes. And you would be like, which one do I want to put on today?
That's so funny.
Yeah. I'm assuming that doesn't happen because department stores basically don't exist anymore.
That's true. R.I.P.
If this is some kind of rebel against your parents thing, we kindly ask you to leave Rooster Nation out of it. That's right, Dill Pickle. I'm talking to you.
Insane that it was Dill.
Dill, live up to your hair. Anyone besides Bob got an idea?
Oh, yeah, that one was good.
And I hated this. You can live your whole life in a shell, or you can hatch.
Hatching Pete.
And then towards the end, the principal just goes, "Who's that fellow?" Which I just loved. Oh, good times. As far as like a favorite moment, I think it's probably when he's like sad and jumping on the trampoline, just because it's so
good,
funny. It's also like very much of that era, because like I feel like every one of my friends had a trampoline in their backyard, and like it's also funny because it's actually kind of clever exposition, because we need to know that he is good at this stuff, and that's why he's gonna excel at being this mascot.
Flippy.
Yeah. And it's like such a funny, silly moment.
Very funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I'm happy with our opening.
Great. Well,
if you'd like to.
I'm wearing a mascot head. Nothing else. Top is off. Completely nude.
I've sneezed so hard, the rest of the costume has
just fallen off. Actually, I don't know if I like this. That's someone's kink. Okay. Mascot uniform to the side. Basketball jersey off. Great.
Okay, fine.
We're in Spoiler City. We're on our way. All right, lights up. We're at Brewster High. And we see our mascot is getting ready for the game. We've got a nice pumping up song. And the band guy's walking down the hallway and he points over at the rooster and he's like, he's the worst rooster we've ever had. Ah, get it? The Brewster High School Roosters. And then we find out Jason Dolley wants to ask out Mitchell Musso's sister, and we find out that they are best friends. At this point, I don't know their names, so that's why I'm calling them their celebrity name. And Pete is Jason Dolley, and Cleatis Poole is Mitchell Musso. Poole is his last name. I understand why he chose to go by Poole, because Cleatis, bad name. But the Poole sister has a mean boyfriend on the team. She's like dating someone on the team. She's a cheerleader. And Poole didn't tell Pete that she was dating Dill. Oh. So then he goes home and Pete's all sad. And his dad is working on the cars. And Jason, I wrote this in all caps, Jason on a trampoline. He is jumping on a trampoline. And then he gets the dad talk that we have from our cold open. And I put in parentheses, cool dad.
Yeah.
And then mom and dad are fans of the high school basketball team, even though they're really bad because they used to go there. And then their friend also used to go there. And his son is Poole, who's the chicken.
Cleatis.
And he feels guilt tripped into it because his dad used to be the chicken.
And his ancestors were all the chickens.
Yeah, like legacy, chicken legacy. And so he's like, dude, I'm allergic to this costume. I cannot stop sneezing. I just need you to step in for tonight. And Pete's like, no, man, I don't want to do it. And so he kind of like guilt trips him into doing it. And he's like, come on, it'll be great. So everyone thinks throughout lots of this movie, until we call it out again, that the chicken is Cleatis Poole. It is not. It is Pete. Okay. So then we go to the basketball game. The basketball team is very bad. The coach is very fun. That's where we get our janitor from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. He is one of the best parts of this movie, if not the best part of this movie. He gets knocked over by the chicken because Jason Dolley, Pete, is doing a really good job of being it. He was clumsy at first and then kind of like feels his way around into it. He's, following the coach and pointing at things. He's kind of disrupting the game and everyone's living, laughing, loving it. Big fan. So he kind of makes it this like bit that he's going to like disrupt the game. So everyone is obsessed with the chicken now, but the coach wants him expelled. Once again, thinking that this is Poole, not Pete. So he's like, no, he's a disruption. I want him expelled. And the principal's like, you suck. I don't care what you say. The team sucks, not like you as a person suck. The basketball players want to beat him up. They, pull him aside. And at this point, Poole doesn't even know. He wasn't at the game. He has no idea what happened. He's so confused. He's like, why is everyone mad at me? And then the coach stops the kids from beating him up. But then they leave and he's like, I'll beat you up. So he's kind of still threatens him. He's like, you need to stop horsing around. So he's like trying to ask Pete, what did you do when you were in the chicken man? And he's like, I don't know, dude. I just like did my thing. So then they're in class and everyone outside of the basketball players and the coach are obsessed with Poole now. So he's kind of getting this like high horse or high chicken, some might say. And Pete and Angela, we have a new new person introduced who's also cheerleader, and they get paired to build the float together. So there's this Thanksgiving parade or basketball parade coming, and they get paired to build the float. And the blonde cheerleader who looks like Poole's sister is now obsessed with Poole. Mm-hmm. And so there's those two dynamics, like Angela and Pete and Poole and cheerleader. So then they're after school. They go to like the art classroom where they're trying to figure out what to put on the float. And this one guy keeps saying, it should be space. And it was actually really funny. And then Angela's like, well, everyone's obsessed with the chicken. We should put the chicken on the float. And they're like, oh, yeah. And she's like flirty. Like Angela's flirt McFlirt. Mm-hmm. But then don't get your hopes up. She has a boyfriend. He goes to another school. He's real. She acts like he's not real at some points, but he is real. And we'll find out later that he is real. He doesn't come. Don't get your hopes up. Okay. So then Poole comes over finally to Pete and he's like, what did you do during the game? And he was like, dude, tell me my sister Cammie was talking about you. And he was like, what? Oh, what? And he was like, just kidding. And then this is literally the last time she's mentioned. So insane.
Because Pete is like, never mind. I don't like her anyway. I like Angela now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So then he's like, Pete, you need to teach me the routine. And so then Pete goes into the costume again for the next game. And Poole paints his face, puts on like a green afro, sits in the audience and like watches. Because if anyone sees him sitting in the crowd, they'll be confused as to why he's not in the chicken suit and who is in the chicken suit.
Right.
So then Pete, being in the chicken suit during this game, flirts with Angela. So she thinks that Poole is flirting with her because everyone, once again, thinks that Poole's in the chicken suit. Mm-hmm. Then Poole, outside of the chicken suit, gets a date with blonde one, Jamie. And then he asks Pete to be the chicken full time. He's like, dude, this will work out for both of us. And they have like a fight and it makes no sense, but Pete caves, which he's just a really nice guy. But this is where Val mentioned like Poole kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. And like, he's like very manipulative to his friend. Mm-hmm. And so he like convinces him like, no, it's a win-win. Like, you get to stay, introverted. No one knows it's you. And then I get to date the cheerleader. And he was like, okay. So they keep the charade up.
They basically have to have Pete not want to be revealed because otherwise this movie doesn't make sense. But it also doesn't make sense that he wouldn't want people to know it was him. Like he keeps saying like, I'm afraid that if people know it's me, then it'll be lost, the magic will be lost or whatever. And it's like,
yeah.
Talking about
yeah
like what do you mean?
And if he was like, I don't like the glory of everyone knowing it was me, but they never outright say that. So that didn't really make it just didn't make sense. He
just like didn't want the attention, but like he loves the attention. Like that's the whole point. And he wants Angela to like him. If he just told her it was him, then she would like him and it would be the end of it.
Yep. But that would be too easy, Val.
That's right.
So then we get to building the float for the parade, and Angela asks Pete about Poole, and she goes, when he's chicken, he's different. And he's like, yeah, he has a girlfriend. And then Pete also goes, Val really liked the way I said that. When he's chicken, he's different. You guys, cracking up just like an egg.
That's good.
So Pete is like, Poole has a girlfriend. And don't you also have a boyfriend? And she like hesitates. She's like, oh, yeah, I do have a boyfriend. So then you're like, is this boyfriend real?
Right. Or did
he
you just say
is, but
that?
it's just like
Yeah.
so confusing the way
I
that she
know.
reacted to that. So then Poole goes on the bus with the team to the game. So we have this like montage of like, who's the chicken? Who's the chicken? And they like rip his head off. And he actually went on the bus with the team. So when he gets to the game at the other school, they switch in the janitor's closet.
Which honestly was very smart.
Very smart.
Because I was like, how are they going to pull this off on away games? And then we saw how they
very
did
smart. And then the team is losing 70-20. I'm going to say that one more time. The team is losing 70-20. Great. Pete knocks down Jamie, who Jamie thinks that it's her boyfriend in the chicken suit, and she gets a nosebleed. And then Poole and Pete get mad, and then they fight. Everyone's mad at each other. And then Angela finds Poole after the game, and she like flirts with him. And Pete is like standing around the corner being like, man, this is a girl I like. And she's like flirting with him because she thinks he's the one in the chicken suit.
Right.
But then when she flirted with him in person, when he was out of the suit, she was like, this isn't the person who's in the chicken suit.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing I'm an adult human being talking about children in chicken suits.
Also, Cleatis like tries to kiss her.
I know.
If I was Pete, I would slug him.
Slug him.
Like, what a meanie. Like, God.
Yeah.
He's
Poole,
awful.
not a good friend.
Bad friend.
Bad friend. So then that ends. And then Pete and Poole are fighting again at the float making, and they're just like having this rift. And Poole is upset because of his dad's expectations of him being a chicken. He's like, I can't do this. Like, I don't, this isn't for me, but like, I have to do this for my dad because of the
the legacy. Yeah.
The legacy of the chicken legacy. Chicken legs. Okay, write that down. So then he wants to call off their agreement. He's like, this is, we're done. And Pete was like, no, I don't want to give this up now. Like, no, I like this, which makes no sense. And so then I wrote, he was like, Pete doesn't want to give it up now because I don't know why. And I think now after reflecting, it's his only way of being able to like flirt with Angela. So he's like, no, it's my only way that I can like have this connection with her.
Yeah, I think that basically what it is like, and I kind of get this actually in a way, because like when we went into the pandemic and we were improvising on the internet, which I know you didn't really do, it was freeing because you're disconnected from the audience, right? So
yeah,
like,
see, that's why I didn't.
You don't care. Like I as someone who cared too much how the audience was reacting to them prior, it was really good exercise for me to like be disconnected from the audience. In his case, it's kind of different. It's like he thinks that they're not going to like him if they know it's him. And because he's afraid of that, he's also afraid he can't come up with the funny stuff that he comes up with or like be as free when he's not in the suit, which I do understand, but they just don't articulate that exactly. Like they just sort of like, what if it's not the same? And it's like, okay, like, cool.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So then Angela was not at the float making, and they were like, oh, she went for a walk. And so he like walks around town and goes to find her, and she finds him and she's crying. We find out that her boyfriend broke up with her over text message. So 1, he's real. 2, he's a asshole. But then Pete's like, I have a chance. So then it's the parade time. Jamie from earlier, Poole's now ex-girlfriend, was the queen wearing a nose brace on a different float. And then the chicken float looks great. There's a huge egg. I wrote, Pete stuns the crowd.
It's a nice musical number.
That means Val thinks it was a musical number, which means we get to write it down because they dance. So they are like stunning the crowd. They're dancing, they're screaming, and then Tiffany and Mitchell are singing a song. It's titled "Let It Go," just very funny. And then Angela pulled up Poole unknowingly. He was standing in the crowd, and where the parade stopped, he was like standing in the crowd wearing a mustache and
looked like
a
Elmer
big cowboy
Fudd.
hat. He did look like Elmer Fudd. And she like pulled him up for whatever reason. I think just because she was like, this is the guy that I like. I'm going to like pull him into our dance. And he gets revealed.
She doesn't know it's him. Because if she knew it was him, she would have known maybe he wasn't the chicken. She
forget everything that I just said.
I think she just grabs him because he's wearing a funny outfit and she like thinks it would be funny.
She just randomly grabs him.
Yeah.
So then instead of revealing Pete as the chicken, because they were like, wait, if Cleatis isn't in the suit, who is? And instead of just revealing himself, Pete runs and steals the cop car. And Angela was like, I was hoping it wasn't Pool. So she like knew, but she doesn't know it's Pete yet, but she like knew. Mm-hmm. And so then I didn't realize at first because this cop car doesn't look like a cop car. I was like, why are they trying to arrest all these people?
I think they arrested the sheriff's car. Like, I think it's like the sheriff's personal car.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Because I was like, this does not look like a sheriff car.
Yeah.
It was literally just like a green car.
Yeah. It was a convertible.
But then they arrested Pool, which made no sense. I think just because they were like, you know who the chicken is.
Right, yeah.
Like, tell us, but really made no sense. And then Pool has a conversation with his dad, hot dad, cool dad. He was good looking. And they have their like heart to heart of like, you don't have to be the chicken. It's okay. I know you're allergic to the suit. You don't have to do it. And then this was funny. He was like, Dad, I'm also allergic to math. He's
like, don't push it.
And he was like, no. That was funny. So then Pete like runs away, hides the suit, ditches the car, and gets picked up by Angela after like walking away from ditching the suit in the car. And she says, I'm afraid once the mystery is over, so is the magic. And she was falling for the guy in the suit. LOL. So then the entire town is trying to figure out who the chicken is. Newspapers, the school news outlet, the Washington Post. Everyone is out there trying to figure out who is in this chicken outfit. And he doesn't want to come clean because he's going to get arrested for stealing this sheriff car. And so everyone is sad because they're at the basketball game and they're like, he's going to show up. We're going to figure out who it is. Like the police are there. They're going to arrest him and he never shows up. So everyone's like, well, I don't want to watch the basketball game if the chicken's not here. This would be like going to a Bulls game and Benny the Bull didn't show up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to a Bulls game if Benny's not there. Okay. I got to see the popcorn being thrown during the Harlem Shake. Okay. That's just how the Bulls work. Then like, they're like, oh my gosh, the chicken's here. And this like makeshift chicken runs out. And it's the janitor. And he was like, oh, I just wanted people to love me. And everyone leaves the game. And Pete showed up, not in chicken suit. He just came up to watch the game. So then Coach has to say on the microphone in front of the entire school, the principal was like, dude, we just need you to do well. And so you have to tell the chicken, whatever kid it is in the school assembly, that they're not going to get in trouble. So Coach is like, I hate the chicken, but okay, whoever the chicken is, you're not going to get in trouble. Please, we just want you back at our basketball games. So then there's like people in the hallway trying to figure it out. They're looking at, the yearbook. They're like, oh, could it be Pete? And everyone's like, no, who even is that? It's probably Keith Burke. Oh, yeah, it's definitely the Burkster. It's not Keith Burke. Okay. So then they're at the game again, and then the people leave. They're sad. They're leaving because there's no chicken. And so then the principal is like, I know what'll get him. And they make a chicken signal. They make a bat signal.
Yeah. Because there is this
to
whole conversation about like Batman.
Yeah.
Like he compares himself to Batman earlier in the movie.
Like,
so
and
it kind of makes sense.
Clark Kent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So then Tommy Thompson invited the chicken onto the school TV. He's our Walter Cronkite. Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
So then Coach was like, we can't win without the chicken. They hug and cry. So he did show up for the show. He was like, I will show up for this. They hug and cry and they make up. And what they did for the chicken was like, I'll show up if you change my voice. So they altered his voice and he says the quote of there's magic in the mystery. So then we pan to Angela and she was like, it's Pete. And then Poole talks him into it, to doing the chicken for the game for the glory, and he's letting everyone down. Once again, bad friend.
But then he doesn't go.
Yeah, he doesn't go. But then we, get a montage of bad basketball, and then we get, finally at the end, the chicken shows up, he dances, the team does great. He finally reveals, because he fell, and Angela was like, "Let me help you up, Pete." And he was like, "What?" And so then they figure out it's Pete. That's where the principal's like, "Who is that fellow?" No one knows who he is. Everyone's excited because he's back. He'll do it. They end up winning the game by scoring 75 points, which is probably the total amount of points they scored all season, with having a maximum of 20 points in that one game. And then 7 in another.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a credits montage thing.
Which we don't get a lot of in DComs.
No. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. And there's 2 musical numbers to the same song.
There are. Which means we'll get a box. I know which one it is.
Yeah.
Cool. So it was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Should we just go to bingo?
Yeah. Val, do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
A one-hit wonder song.
Mitchell Musso? Tiffany Thompson?
Yeah.
Sure. I know he doesn't currently make music.
Yeah. Let's just say yes.
Let's do it. Breaking the fourth wall or looking into the camera. Not that I saw.
Yeah. Holiday themed. Homecoming.
Oh, was it Homecoming? It was Homecoming.
I think it was.
Because he wanted to take the sister.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Clunky metaphor.
The chicken suit. Don't hide who you are.
No.
Parents who just don't get it.
I think they kind of get it.
Yeah. I think that it's the kids who think that their parents don't get it, but they actually do. Both Cleatis and Pete. Both.
Yeah. Cool non-parent adult. Coach.
Coach. Yeah. Someone too famous for a TV movie.
Would you count the Gilmore Girls guy?
I was thinking about that. I don't know. Because he was a TV personality, but he wasn't super, it wasn't Debbie Reynolds being in a movie.
It's up to you because I didn't watch Gilmore Girls.
You know what? I will say yes, because this was, when did Gilmore Girls start? It was definitely before this.
Oh, it was in the thousands.
Yeah, 2000, 2007. So this was 2 years after that. So yeah, you know what? Definitely. Because I feel like people would watch this and be like, whoa, why is the grandpa from Gilmore Girls in this movie?
Weird.
Yeah.
Competition to resolve central problem.
Yes.
What is the competition?
The basketball
game. Oh. Woof.
A montage sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's a few.
Mm-hmm.
Cliche villains.
There isn't really a villain per se. Dill is kind of, but not really.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say no villains.
Yeah, because it's not like anyone was out to get anyone. They were out to get themselves.
Yeah, and all the people who maybe could constitute a villain, they're so hapless that they're not really effective as villains anyway. So
right.
They're kind of just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clothes or items you owned. Oh, Al's got one.
All of the cheerleaders were wearing thick headbands. And I wore those headbands in high school all the time.
There you go.
All the time. I was that's actually something where I still have a couple. Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60.
I've actually heard of this one before, so I feel maybe it's a little higher. So I'm going to say 58.
Val, it's 59.
Wow.
Nice. You get the point and we get the point.
Wow.
That's good. You deserve it.
Oh, thanks, Val.
Mm-hmm.
Happily Ever After. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the girl gets to be popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I rate Minutemen high?
I can't remember.
I can't either. I think I liked that movie.
Okay.
I was just thinking back to Jason Dolley.
Oh, sure. He's more charming in that movie. His character is given nothing to do in this movie.
Yeah.
So,
Almost Kissing.
Well, there's kissing.
There is real kissing.
And there is an almost kiss when Poole tries to kiss Angela and
That's
Pete
true.
pulls him away.
She pulls away, as she should have.
No, Pete pulls Mitchell away. She was going
As
in.
he should have. As he should have.
Yeah. Someone who became famous. Not really.
I think if we had done this in 2013, maybe Jason Dolley because of Good Luck Charlie, but like he's not really acting so much anymore.
Yeah, I think no.
I think no. Mitchell Musso has also stopped, I believe. Betraying of one's real friends or values. Mitchell Musso does for sure.
That's what I was going to say. Like, are we counting him? Because if we
I think we do, because he's one of the leads.
Okay, great.
I think we do.
Okay. Your childhood crush, Al.
You said your, and it was mine. Jason Dolley. I also think that I had a little crush on Mitchell Musso in the Hannah Montana era.
I appreciate his comedic timing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's being directed to overdo it in this movie, but I don't think that that's his fault. Like, his deliveries are funny. Like that line where he's like, I'm also allergic to math. Science?
Right.
No? Like, it's like a very funny delivery.
Yeah.
So like he's a good comedian.
Mm-hmm. Obviously bad special effects or stunts.
I mean, yeah, like a lot of the gymnastics and stuff kind of looks.
I mean, him on the trampoline was not him.
Oh, of course it was not him. Like, I think it was just kind of, there was a lot of like cutting that was a little bit awkward to make things look cooler than they were.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Channel star, many.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Musical number.
Mm-hmm. The same one twice.
Yay.
Magic.
No. Not even science.
No.
Someone says the title of the movie. Oh.
No.
They don't. They say Pete.
And they say Hatch, but they don't say Hatching Pete.
They don't say Patching Pete.
Scuba Dude. No.
I mean, they don't have anything to really solve besides their own problem.
Yeah, there's no Scuba
Yeah.
Dude.
The heroes create the problem.
Yes, for sure. Lead is a fish out of water. I would argue yes at the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Val.
Yeah?
We have hatched 3 bingos.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that makes up for some times we got no bingos.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our top corner going diagonal down. One hit wonder, someone too famous for a TV movie, happily ever after, Disney Channel star, lead is a fish out of water. And then we go all the way to our G column. We have clunky metaphor, montage sequence, almost kissing, Disney Channel star, hero create the problem. And we have our 4th line down. We have betraying of one's real friends or values, your childhood crush, obviously bad special effects or stunts, Disney Channel star, and musical number.
Woo!
Woo!
Thanks,
Did
Al.
it. Okay, now it's time for a game. It's called Real or Not, Real or Not.
Okay.
Okay. This game, Val, I'm going to give you a college and a mascot, and you have to tell me if it's real.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The University of California Santa Cruz banana slugs.
No.
Incorrect. That is a real college mascot.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. The Xavier and their mascot is the Blue Blob.
Yes.
That is correct. Good job, Val.
That's like too weird to not be true.
Right. Southern Florida University wenches.
Yes.
Incorrect. That's what I created. The Whittier College Poets.
Yes.
That's correct. The poets are their mascot.
That's cool.
Good job, Val. The University of Maine Lobsters.
I feel like it would be like Lobsterman or something like that. I'm going to say no.
That's correct. I made it up. The University of North Carolina School of the Arts Fighting Pickle.
That's so specific.
But is my brain specific?
I know. I mean, that is something your brain could come up with. I'm going to say yes.
That's correct. It is real.
Wow.
They don't have any sports teams.
They're just
so they created their mascot as the Fighting Pickle. And our last one, we have the Delta State Fighting Okra.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's real. All right. Great job, Val. You got 5 out of 7. Good job.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, that was good. Well, Val, what a day and what a time to be alive here with you.
It's been a delight.
It has. Please, our fans are begging. What are we watching next?
Next, we are watching the Princess Protection Program.
Oh, I'm excited for this one. I've watched this one before.
I've never seen this one, but I've heard of it, so I'm excited to check it out.
If I remember anything about it, I think it'll be better than our last 2.
Okay. I'm excited.
I hope so. Demi and Selena.
Whoa.
Spoilers. Okay. Oh my God. I know. What a
powerhouse.
Time.
My goodness.
Yeah. Val, tell everyone what they should do. Like subscribe, tell your mom.
Yeah, share, spread the word, pals. We're almost to episode 75.
That's crazy.
That's a fun fact for you. What else is a fun fact? I think we mentioned this last episode, but we'll mention it again. We have some fresh cast members in our live show. Come check it out. We mentioned this, I think, also, but we'll remind you again. We are now on YouTube, on the Trident Network's YouTube, if you prefer to listen to your podcast that way.
You have no excuse not to listen to us.
Literally, we're everywhere. We are everywhere.
But if you've gotten this far, that means you do listen to us. So thanks.
But if this is your first episode, please find the medium.
Listen
that
to
works
other
best
ones.
for you.
My God, you chose Hatching Pete as your first episode. This is your first episode? Okay. Go listen to Zequel.
Sequel. Or Stu. Just our interview with
Stu.
Or Holly.
Stu, shout out. Well, Val, it's always a joy. You're a dream.
You're a dream. I love you so much.
Thanks.
I'm excited I get to see you in person tomorrow.
We're hanging out. I'm going to hold your baby tomorrow.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. Bye, Val.
Bye, Al. This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
Dcommentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.